Shabbat Shalom. We are thrilled and honored to participate in CARE Shabbat, Congregations Advocating Regular Exams. Just something we should be doing. So I am grateful for our chairs who helped to organize our program for this Shabbat, to Sandy Schwartz, to Eileen Glogauer, and to Alana Ben-Zev for all their hard work in making today happen. And so now in order to introduce our speaker this morning, it's my pleasure to welcome one of our co-chairs and our past Congregational Sisterhood President, Sandy Schwartz.
Lisa Sobel Siegmann was born and raised in the Cleveland area of Ohio. Although now she's living here in Michigan, Lisa stayed true to her Buckeye roots, receiving both her BS and MSW degrees from Ohio State University. She has been associated with the Jewish Federation of Metropolitan Detroit for 16 years as the director of J Family, which many of you may remember was known as JEF, Jewish Experiences for Families. Lisa is proud to have been part of the Shabbat think tank, has published for Edutopia, taught for Pelley and Gratz College. One of Lisa's passions is music, and she has been a song leader, cantorial soloist for many years. Prior to moving to Michigan, Lisa worked for the Commission on Jewish Education in Columbus, Ohio, as the Director of Jewish Family Education. She is known for her energy, humor, creativity, informal style, and team approach. She lives in Bloomfield Hills with her amazing husband, Tal, and their 3 brilliant children. I am very proud to be able to introduce Lisa and to call her my friend. I have worked with her for, I think, about the 16 years that she's been here, and it's really a delight to have her with us this morning.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for inviting me to Shabbat over there. I've been moved. Thank you for having me to Shabbat. I'm totally, truly honored to be here with you this morning. So as we look around the community, we see pink everywhere. And I see some of you got the memo as well. The color pink lights up buildings from downtown Birmingham and everywhere in between. Pink ties, pink bagels. The color pink is what we wear on everything. Why? It's October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I've been asked to share my story. There are many kinds of cancers, and lots of people who live with this horrible disease on a daily basis. Some of us, thank God, are survivors. Some of us are not so lucky. This is my story. My sister saved my life. She didn't mean to, but I'll be grateful to her forever. She didn't think cancer would happen. I didn't think cancer would happen to me, but it did. In October 2008, it was Sukkot. My sister was in town visiting, and we were standing in the kitchen. I can see it like it was yesterday. And I was minding my own business when my sister informed me that she had volunteered for a gene study in Canada. It was for Jewish women of Eastern European descent. She volunteered to be helpful, to be nice, because she is, and she heard the announcement on the radio. She happened to be in the car at the exact moment of the radio spot. She lives in Toronto, on the subway line. She hardly ever drives. It was just so random. Or was it meant to be? She thought she was going to be just another number for the study. What she found out was that she was BRCA or BRCA1 positive. What's that, I wondered. How do you pronounce it? Is it BRCA? Is it BRCA? She had the breast cancer gene. Wow. She had up to a 47% chance of getting ovarian cancer. She had up to an 85% chance of getting breast cancer. The gene mutation comes through one parent, and each child has a 50% chance of getting the gene. My sister has 3 children. I was scared for her. Approximately 1 out of 40 Ashkenazi Jews are BRCA or BRCA positive. Wait a minute. That means that I had a chance, a 50% chance of being positive, and I have 3 children. Now I was scared for both of us. 2 weeks later, I found out that I too was positive, so was my older brother. My younger brother was negative, thank God, but 3 out of 4 of us, a very high percentage, just had our lives changed forever from a simple blood test, in a moment. The gene mutation was from my father's side of the family, which surprised me because he'd always told me that he was perfect. My journey had begun, my head was swimming, and I was in a fog. I didn't really know where to go for answers. I really didn't even know the right questions to ask. No one handed me a pamphlet and said, here, this is what you need to do to get through this nightmare. Here's step 1, step 2. No resources, just a fog in my head, a constant loud buzzing noise that wouldn't clear. At that time, not many of us had heard about the BRCA1 or 2 gene. For 6 weeks, I researched and met with doctors, 14 in fact. I asked them, okay, give it to me straight. What would you do? What if I was your mother, your wife, your sister? What advice would you give me? I read articles, I searched the web, I read Wikipedia, everything is true on that. For 6 weeks, I got up every day and somehow got my 3 young children up, dressed, into school. I couldn't focus, though I tried. I felt immense stress through every inch of my body, the horrible emotional strain in your neck that you can barely speak. I wish someone would have taken me under their wing and directed me, helped me. After researching BRCA and meeting with doctors from all over the medical field on my own, I made my decision. When Dr. Laura Schanbaum, formerly of Michigan, was very clear. She said it wasn't a matter of if I would get cancer, but when. Some people thought I was crazy to have surgery. Such a drastic move. Maybe you'll never get breast cancer, they said. It was only up to 85%. Ovarian cancer was only up to 47%. Well, what if your husband doesn't look at you the same way? Or at all? What if he leaves you? Really? Did she really just say that? Well, many thought I was crazy. Many thought I was brave. I just did what my heart told me to do. When I looked at my children, Adi, then 8, Maya, 6.5, and Amit, age 3, I knew that I had to do everything in my power to be there for them and to be present in their lives. To guide them, to love them, embarrass them as teenagers. I wanted to be there for braces and first dances and bra shopping, bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, weddings, life. How do you explain this, all of this, to your 3-year-old? I told him that mommy would have a boo-boo on her boobies, and that actually worked for him. I told my older 2 that mommy would look a little different on the outside, but the same from within. And mom would be healthy and be with them. As for my husband, Tal, he was supportive of the decision that I needed to come to on my own. He held me when I cried and when I was scared, and he held me when I was strong and felt back in control of my life. Looking into their eyes, I knew my decision was the right one for me, to protect our lives together as a family. Thank you, God, for my family. Thank you, God, for my friends. Thank you, God, for the earth and sea. Thank you, God, for the trees and the air I breathe. Thank you, God, for me. So, on March 2009, I had an oophorectomy, a partial hysterectomy. In March, I had a bilateral mastectomy. In October, I had my reconstruction. So yes, these are my real fake ones. I paid for them, they are mine. I didn't mean to be so out in the community with this, it just kind of happened. But I've heard from so many that to speak out, to educate, has made a difference and helped people. In Pirkei Avot, we say, Ezahu Chacham, hu lomed mikol adam. Who is wise? One who learns from others. A friend told me that you performed an important act by letting others know about your condition and the importance of screening. You made your challenge into a teachable moment. Another said, even if one person gets tested because of it, how great would that be? This empowering information will save lives, I have no doubt. One father said, my kids will tell you that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's having the fear and doing it anyway. I'm one of the lucky ones, I know. With our cancer history in my family, we never would have been screened or tested. We were not high enough on the risk ladder. But when Dr. Billy Kestenberg came out of the exam room, a week past my double mastectomy, he said to me, you're cured, and that you just saved your life. I was stunned and speechless. And if you know me, speechless, can you imagine? The pathology showed 3 small areas of non-evasive cancer, 3 areas that were not detected by mammogram, ultrasound, or MRI. And this cancer is extremely aggressive. Dr. Kestenberg told me how lucky I was to have caught the cancer at its earliest stage. If caught even a few months later, I might not have been so lucky. Through my journey, I've not only learned new vocabulary like BRCA and oophorectomy, but I've learned that in the face of difficult decisions, heart-wrenching decisions, that I am strong, I am in control, and my family and my friends have my back. Thank you, God, for my family. Thank you, God, for my friends. What started out as a preemptive strike on avoiding cancer ended up saving my life. I don't define myself as a survivor. Cancer is only a small part of who I am today, and I am 6 years cancer-free. Today at Sharet Zedek, there are some of you that might be battling cancer. There are many of you who may be cancer survivors and caregivers. When life serves up lemons, we have a choice to be positive or negative, to include or exclude, to talk or be silent, to make a difference and potentially save lives, or to stay within yourself. I chose to try and make a difference. I choose to try and make a difference, to speak, to write articles, to counsel others, and to advocate, to see this diagnosis and experience as a gift. I signed up for the 3-day walk for breast cancer. I raised thousands of dollars. I raised awareness. I walked 60 miles because I wanted the bottom half of me in shape enough to match the new and improved top part of me. I've walked in the Relay for Life, and I've told my story many times, and I've tried to be there for whoever needs help. Albert Einstein said, "Try not to become a person of success, but a person of value." And I hope to be that person of value to others. I now propose a challenge for all of you. What are you going to do? Now that you know my story and perhaps a bit more about BRCA, what are you going to do? I'm one story. I am one story. There are thousands, millions of stories, and unfortunately there'll be many more stories to come. What can you do as an individual, as a community? To my father who said, "This is not the legacy I wanted to leave for my children," you've given me a gift to share my story with others, because I was taught that you have to be the change you want to see in the world, and that if you've saved one life, it's as if you've saved the entire world. Thank you, God, for my family. Thank you, God, for my friends. Thank you, God, for the earth and sea. Thank you, God, for the trees and the air I breathe. Thank you, God, for me. Now every morning, when I take my dog for his morning walk, I look up at the sky, whether it's with the rising sun or the stars falling from the heavens, and I sing that song, because I'm so grateful to be here. My name is Lisa Sobel Siegmann, and I am a breast cancer survivor, but much more important to me, I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a cousin, a Buckeye, an educator, a colleague, and a friend. May you all go from strength to strength. Think pink, and Shabbat Shalom.